Hey everyone, today I want to talk about one of the most hated idols of 5th gen K-pop, Wonhee of ILLIT. We'll go through actual examples, break down the psychology and culture behind how minors are treated in K-pop, and ultimately talk about why the hate towards Wonhee feels especially cruel and undeserved. If you don't know who she is, Wonhee is an 18-year-old K-pop idol and a member of ILLIT, a girl group under Belift Lab, a sub-label of HYBE. She first came into the spotlight through the 2023 survival show Are You Next, where she ended up placing first and joining the debut lineup of ILLIT. But from the moment her name was called, she became the center of a massive hate wave, despite literally doing nothing wrong, and that's what makes this whole situation so disturbing. Before we get into the video, I want to quickly tell you about my digital K-pop scrapbook. 15 pages of fun prompts to draw a journal and document your favorite K-pop groups and memories. If you get it now, you get 2 extra pages for free, just for a limited time. It is honestly so much fun and so versatile. I'll leave a link in the description, or you can go to this link on the page right now to get it yourself. Okay, let's get back into the video. Let's rewind to see where all of this really began. The survival show Are You Next? A lot of viewers were not happy with the final lineup. People felt that fan favorites had been robbed of their debut, and somehow all of that frustration got aimed at Wonhee, even though she was only 16 at the time and obviously had no control over the results. She instantly became the main target of the backlash. The first of these many reasons was voting system changes and rigging accusations. Midway through the survival show, producers changed the rules. Instead of pure fan votes deciding all winners, only the top 2 were fan voted, and the other 4 members were producer picks. This fueled suspicion that the company rigged the lineup to favor certain trainees. Fan favorite contestants were eliminated despite high votes. In contrast, Wonhee's rank surged from 9th place to 1st in the finale, an outcome many found inauthentic and deceptive. This led viewers to conclude that the company had already pre-selected a younger, more local-friendly lineup and changed the rules to ensure they debuted. This spurred resentment towards the winners, especially Wonhee, who dramatically shot up to 1st place. At just 16, Wonhee was one of the youngest contestants, and her sudden surge to 1st place was seen by many as a sign that the show's producers, and by extension the K-pop industry, were prioritizing youth over skill, experience, or global appeal. And this isn't a new trend in Korea. There is a deep-rooted cultural preference for youthfulness, especially among women. From skincare marketing to celebrity culture, being young, fresh-faced, and pure is heavily romanticized. In K-pop, this translates into agencies actively seeking out trainees in their early teens, grooming them for years and often debuting them before they even reach adulthood. Youth is equated with potential, multiplicity, and long-term profitability. Agencies see younger idols as blank slates that they can shape into long-term stars, with little to no opposition. This preference often means older, more skilled trainees get overlooked in favor of those who simply fit the young and fresh image. Therefore, frustration amongst the viewers was understandable. What was the point of having a survival show if they were just going to choose who they wanted anyway? However, the hate being targeted towards a 16-year-old instead of the company was unnecessary. Secondly, rumors of nepotism and pretty privilege. After the results, a lot of people began digging into reasons why Wonhee might have been favored. Soon, a nepotism rumor took hold, as people found out that her cousin was a wealthy socialite who appeared on a dating reality show, which they took as proof that Wonhee had powerful backing. Others argued that she had pretty privilege. These comments implicitly branded her as untalented, an undeserving pretty face who must have had help to beat more skilled trainees. While it is true that she was not one of the most captivating performers on the show, sending relentless hate to a child makes zero sense. In my opinion, the companies are totally at fault here, as it is clear that they had already picked the concept they wanted for ILLIT before they finalized the lineup, and choosing to do a survival show was a means for promotion and investment from audiences. However, they didn't expect, or maybe they did and didn't care, that people would see them cherry-picking contestants. They clearly were picking based on who would fit their concept, but in a survival show setting where people were showing all their skills and sides, it just came off as favoritism. Viewers pointed to moments that suggested that the judges or producers coddled Wonhee, noticing that she wasn't scolded by judges for certain mistakes that other girls were reprimanded for. Whether or not these incidents were coincidental, they fed a conspiracy narrative that the show staff had been protecting Wonhee at others' expense. In their eyes, Wonhee became the embodiment of an unfair system, and they lashed out at her. Wonhee was hit with harsh hate online, called untalented, undeserving, and even mocked for her looks, ironically by people claiming she only won for being pretty. Some comments crossed into death threats, even on Weverse, prompting the Protect Wonhee hashtag as fans defended her. All this aimed at a 16-year-old who just debuted. Just when it felt like things were finally coming down after the survival show, Wonhee and ILLIT got hit with another wave of hate, this time because of the messy legal battle between Min Hee-jin and Hype. Min Hee-jin publicly accused ILLIT of copying New Jeans, from their debut strategy to styling and even choreography, basically painting ILLIT as a cheap knockoff. Despite B-Lift insisting that ILLIT's concept was more fairy princess than New Jeans Y2K, but the damage was already done. Fans had already been accusing ILLIT of copying New Jeans from the moment they debuted, calling them clones or bootleg New Jeans. It seemed like people thought there wasn't enough space in the industry for two young girl groups with a fresh concept and only one could succeed. ILLIT became a target overnight, and as the center, Wonhee again got the worst of it. And then during a May 2024 livestream celebrating ILLIT's 50th day, she was seen reading comments with a serious expression and manually reporting them in real time. At just 16, she was left to police her own chat. One can only imagine the amount of disgusting hate she must have seen about herself. Many rightfully called out the company for failing to protect her during what should have been a happy moment. Around this time, ILLIT's social media was already flooded with hate, often from self-identified New Jeans or Min Hee-jin stans, accusing them of copying and blaming them for things beyond their control. Just months into debut, the group faced intense scrutiny and pressure. All of the ILLIT members stayed silent and did their best to smile in public, but one can only imagine the major impact that amount of hate must have had on them. And of course, before that wave of hate could die down, another comes about. Just recently, Wonhee found herself in yet another mess, this time over something completely innocent that spiraled into a full-blown fan war. Recently, she was on a radio show and got asked to pick a song to play. Since she is a longtime fan of Twice, she chose Heartshaker and explained that whenever she hears K-pop girl group, it has always been Twice for her. Since she was young, Twice have been a huge part of her life and she used to dance to Heartshaker all the time. It was clearly a heartfelt, personal comment. She was just showing love to a group she grew up admiring. She didn't say anything about other groups and definitely did not throw shade. But you already know how K-pop goes. An incorrect translation of her words began circulating on social media. In this mistranslation, it claims that Wonhee said, "In my opinion, when it comes to the most popular girl group, it's always been Twice." It seems like a subtle change, but this phrasing made it sound like Wonhee was declaring Twice the #1 girl group overall, which some fans took as a dismissal of Blackpink. The nuance of Wonhee's actual comment, which was about her own personal tastes growing up, got lost in translation. As a result, what should have been a heartwarming moment turned into a toxic fan war almost overnight. Blanks being blanks reacted extremely defensively to the mistranslation, and within hours there were viral posts and tweets harshly criticizing Wonhee, accusing her of disrespecting Blackpink. They flooded comment sections with angry remarks, and some even resorted to personal attacks against her, with some reaching ridiculous amounts of hatred that are just plain abhorrent. But of course, what else can we expect from blanks on Twitter? For Wonhee, all the hate that she has ever gotten must be so bewildering. She has done nothing wrong, yet she is consistently targeted again and again, especially when company stands come for Hype. This continuing pattern is alarming. Wonhee has faced constant hate simply for achieving her dreams, whether it was debuting over someone else's fave, under the wrong concept, or just sharing her music taste. Every move of hers has sparked backlash. It highlights a bigger issue, K-pop's obsession with debuting younger idols. While companies may prefer younger trainees for their moldability, the toll on their mental health and self-image can be severe, especially under this level of hate. Fans and netizens often forget that there's a real teenager behind the screen, reading these cruel comments, some even sexual or threatening, things no child should see. The irony is stark. K-pop fans speak out against cyberbullying yet quickly turn to it when their narrative is challenged. For someone so young, this level of hate can seriously damage their self-esteem and lead to anxiety, depression, or long-term trauma. It is worth asking, why Wonhee? As the member who placed first on Are You Next, Wonhee became the group's center, making her the easiest target for criticism. Secondly, fans of eliminated trainees or rival groups see her as a symbol of the wrong outcome, sparking resentment. Since she is so young, she is seen as naive or lacking presence. You try having presence when every step you take leads to another viral hate tweet about you. Also, ironically, Wonhee's lack of actual controversies makes it easier for people to project made-up narratives onto her, labeling her a nepotism pick or a hype puppet. And of course, company mistakes. Hype and ILLIT's decisions like the voting changes and debuting such a young lineup created a breeding ground for backlash. Stepping back, it's clear that Wonhee never deserved the hate that she's gotten. She is, by all accounts, a hardworking and polite young idol who happens to succeed in a competitive arena. All the reasons people have attacked her are not actual faults or misdeeds. They are twists of fate or minor things blown wildly out of proportion by others. This kind of dogpiling says more about the toxicity in the K-pop community than about Wonhee herself. Constructive criticism of performances is one thing. Personal attacks, threats, and harassment are indefensible. If entertainment companies insist on debuting such young idols, they need to start protecting them better. Wonhee's ordeal is sadly not unique. It is just the most recent example of an idol being hated on for doing absolutely nothing. And I think it's time to break this toxic cycle. That is all for this video. Like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out my digital scrapbook pages, link in the description. Perhaps some of you need a calming hobby.